Hey, it's Mikey here. So I made this video on drag racing. I wanted to make a video and gear it towards somebody that's never been to a track before or has been to a track but has just never raced. So I'm going to cover all the basic things on how the tracks are set up, what's what, where everything is, and what you're going to do. I'll talk about the pit area and everything there, the staging lines, the track personnel, where they are and what they're going to tell you to do. I'll talk about the burnout box, the staging beams and how that works. I'll talk about the Christmas tree and how it functions. You're going to get the green light, then you're going to head down the track. You're going to grab your time slip, and you're either going to make your way back into the staging lines for another run, or you're going to go grab a hot dog, watch some other people race, or make some adjustments to your car. So this video is just information to get people to the track so they can show up, have somewhat of an idea of what they're doing, have a good time, and get some time slips. I'm not going to talk about any driving techniques, how to get a faster reaction time or faster 60 foots. I'm not going to talk about any of that. That's way in depth. That's a whole nother video. So if you haven't yet, please subscribe to my channel. If you like the video, hit the like button. If you got any questions, leave them in the comment section below. I'll try to make sure I answer any questions you all have. With regards to tech, you should make sure your car is ready to race before you even leave the house. So top off the fluids to include fuel. Check the hoses and clamps. I sometimes let a little bit of air out of my rear tires to help me get traction because I got a rear-wheel drive car. But I also bring an air pump with me to make sure I re-inflate the tires before I make my drive back home. I usually bring a backpack with me. I'll throw my GoPro gear in there, maybe a pair of shorts, maybe a snack, a Gatorade, some water, and I also put my helmet in there so it's not bouncing around on the trip to and from the track. So I'm just covering the layout of the track and how to actually go race. And I still need to do the headlight video. All right, as soon as you get to the track, you're gonna pay somebody. And that person is probably your best source of information right off the bat. Ask them where tech is, ask them where the pits are, where are the staging lanes. People that work at the track, they're more than helpful. They're always gonna point you in the right direction and not steer you wrong. So here I'm just driving through, getting a lay of the land. You see all the trailers there where people trailer their, strict race cars. There's other cars parked here and there throughout. But I'm just feeling out the area and seeing where I can get myself in somewhere and park and, get my gear or get my car ready or whatever I need to do. So I'm going to drive towards what is the staging lines. And I'm going to turn around like right here just to head back. So over there on the left, that's the staging lines where the cars are. These people are all waiting to race till their groups get called. But I'm going to head back and go park somewhere. You see all the trailers and everything. Be mindful of where you park if you're going to park, near somebody. A lot of these guys with their trailers and their race cars, they don't want you crowding their stuff or, all that. So just be courteous to other people and give them room. I usually just look for other BMWs or, other people my age or whatever, just somebody else to hang out with and talk to, because I'm a pretty social person. I can make friends anywhere. But I'm gonna park here, and this next section, this is actually the racetrack itself. So I parked. I'm gonna go check out the racetrack. The guy over there, he's spraying water in the water box. That's where you do the burnouts. You got the lanes here. I can see where the staging beams are, and the track worker there is walking up by the Christmas tree. Then you got the whole rest of this quarter-mile track. It's a nice, awesome surface. And then you got the time boards up there way down at the end of the track. All right, so let's say I already did tech. I've got my car ready. I'm ready to head out and do some racing. So I'm going to make sure all my junk and my backpack and everything, what else I have, it's out in the trunk, not in the car. It's not going to bounce around while I'm driving. So I'm going to head over to the staging lines. Now, I don't do the whole leapfrog staging line thing. Like some people are, as soon as they race, they try to get in the shortest line they can find. I'm just, I'm not in a super huge rush when I go to the track. Sometimes it takes time in between runs. I'm either messing with a GoPro camera, or maybe I'm going to change the settings on my JB4 or check tire pressures or something. So I'm usually never in a super big hurry to hurry up and get another run in, Also, when I pull into the staging lines, I usually look for other cars like mine. I look for other stock-ish type cars. I'm not going to get behind a bunch of tubbed out cars with, big tire slicks or anything like that. I'm going to look for other stock-ish cars and, find whatever lane they're in. I'm going to get behind them. I think I pull into lane 1 or 2 right here, which probably isn't the shortest lane, but this was a lane I think I was already in. I think I may have already done a run at this point. I'm just getting back in line. So I'm just going to pull in here. I'm going to turn the car off. I actually turned off my air conditioner when I first got to the track. That way I'm not dripping any water on the track. All right, so after you wait patiently in line, everybody's been moving up every, 4 cars, then they do another lane, a couple cars do another lane. Eventually it'll get to you, and your turn. So the worker there, the crew guy, he waves us up. We're going to pull up towards the burnout boxes here where the water is. I'm going to pull around it because I got street tires in my car, so I don't really see the point in trying to do a burnout. All right, so this is what it looks like from the stands. You got the 2 cars in the burnout section there. That's where the water station is. The guy that runs that, he sprays the water box down, 1 car in each lane. You've got that area for the burnouts. The worker there is going to tell you when you can do a burnout. He'll do this little light him up thing with his hand. That's when you do your burnout. If you don't do a burnout, just wait for the other car to do theirs before you move up. In between that and the actual staging beams, this is where the dial-in times are for the bracket race. That's what it looks like from the car. If you're bracket racing, that's where your time will show before you pull up. You got the track official up there. He's going to be the one that's running the Christmas tree. Just ahead of him, that area, that's where the staging beams are. So those infrared laser lights or whatever they are, that's where you need to pull up before you race. You can't see them. They're invisible. So once you have done your burnout or not, head up towards the beam area. Once you get really close, look up towards the Christmas tree and creep forward. You have to watch the top of the Christmas tree for the light to light up as soon as you cross the first beam. So as soon as you cross that beam, the top yellow light lights up. Whether you're doing a left foot brake, right foot gas, however you're going to do it, or you're just easing off the clutch a little bit here and there to move your car forward, however you're going to do it, just move up slowly to that first beam, and then that top light lights up. Then 7 inches further is the second beam. Once you break that second beam, once you pull forward and break that second beam, the lower light lights up. Now, once both your light and the guys next to you, when both his lights are lit, the top and bottom lights for both lanes are lit, that's when the track worker is going to actually initiate the Christmas tree. The Christmas tree is 3 yellow lights and then a green. On a standard tree, it's a half second, 0.5 seconds between each yellow. So it's half second yellow, half second yellow, half second yellow, half second, then green. So 3 yellows, half second each, then half second, one more time, and it goes green. That's when you take off. So here's the live action of these 2 cars. They both do their burnouts. I think the red car was a Hellcat, and the other one's just like an SRT or something. I forget what it is. This is a bracket race, and they both have different dial-in times. The green car is actually going to leave first because he has a slower dial-in. So watch them pull up. They break the first beam. Then they inch forward, break the second beam. The near car is going to break theirs to the other second beam. They start the tree. The green car is going to leave first because he had a faster dial-in, and they both take off. Just the way bracket racing works. That's a whole other thing to explain. I'm not really going to get into it, but just pay attention to the tree part. All right, so here's what it's going to look like. This is from the top of my car. I usually put my GoPro on the top of the car. Sometimes I'll put one on the side, if I want to get multiple shots. I do that once in a while, but it's a lot of video editing. Anyways, so here, this is the same clip from before. I just duplicated it. So we drive around, and I'm going to sit here and wait. I'm going to watch the worker, the guy on the right that's walking in the center there. He's going to throw his hands up. So as soon as the people that are on the start line, when they take off, then it's our turn to do a burnout, and we move up. Now, I'm not going to do a burnout, but I'm going to be courteous. I'm going to wait for the guy next to me to do his burnout before I move up. I just think it's kind of rude, and some people do, just to hurry up and go move up, because he's trying to do his thing and warm his tires up. I don't want to hurry somebody. So I'm going to make my way towards the staging beams. You can see the 2 holes on that black box on the right. So once I pull up, I break the first beam. There's the first one. He broke his first, then his second. Then I'm going to break my second. A couple seconds later, the lights go, and green, and we're off. I don't remember what my time was for this. It was like a 13.1 or a 13 flat or something like that. I speed up the video here just so you don't have to sit through all this, but after the end of the quarter-mile track, there's a whole quarter-mile more of runoff area for you to slow down. It's plenty of room. All the top fuel dragsters and all those huge high horsepower cars do it, so it's no big deal for you to slow down. So after you make the turn, you got the guy right there. He's the one that's going to hand you your time slip, and this is where you either go get back in the staging lines, or you go park your car in the pit area and get a hot dog and go watch some other people race. The courtesy thing with the end of the race there for the turn is the right lane. Whoever is on the inside of the turn has the right of way if you're close. I was a little bit further ahead of him, so I just went and turned first. But if both of you are there neck and neck, the inside lane has the right of way. And there's raindrops on my GoPro because it started to rain and we had a rain delay after this. So literally, that's it. I turn my car off. I'm going to let it cool down. I'll pop the hood. And that's it. Watch the video a couple more times if you think you need to, watch the lights again. It does take some getting used to, the whole timing of the yellow, 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 green. I'd say the first couple times you go, don't worry about cutting an amazing reaction time. As soon as you see the green, then go. Just get used to actually driving the car and not worrying about cut super fast lights or anything. All right? Cool. Later.